Oh, what's up? Hey, you are now rocking with the Cool Cats and me, the D.E.V. When I first saw this cat, he made me nervous. I mean, he wasn't what I was expecting. So let me tell y'all this story. Batman is who I'm referring to. And y'all, Batman and Robin are brothers. They're half brothers. Okay. They have the same father and different mothers. So I got them from two separate breeders, but the breeders knew each other. When I got in touch with the one breeder, and she had one male, but her friend, which was another breeder that lived 30 minutes away, had another male that, were kittens that were 6 months or younger. And so when I got them, uh, Batman was 6 months old and Robin was 3.5 months old. All right, so anyway, how this went, I pulled up to the breeder that had Batman, and when I walked in, the house was full of animals in the living room, in the bedroom, in the dining room. I was like, it smelled like a zoo. But this woman, she was breeding Devon Rex cats and French bulldogs. Okay. So she must have had 8 or 9 bulldogs just kind of running around, and about 12 or 13 cats. And so it was pretty chaotic. So, I used to breed dogs, but that was a little unsanitary. But anyway, that's not what we talk about. Um, so I was there a few minutes. She was like, "Well, I gotta find them," which was Batman. And so it was like 10 cats in her bed under the sheets. She said, "Oh yeah, they sleep there." So anyway, this cat comes running out. So it was half of them were kittens and it was some adults. But anyway, when Batman came running out, he looked like a wild cat. He didn't look like what I expected. Again, I was expecting a kitten, and this was my own ignorance, just not knowing. But Batman was 6 months old, so he looked to me like a full grown cat. I was expecting to get a kitten. And so obviously he's grown since then. He's filled out quite a bit, but he was a lot larger than I anticipated. And so he ran out into the living room and dashed out here and was dashing between the animals, and he checked one of the French bulldogs like pat pat pat, hit him with a 3-piece. And I was like, oh my goodness. Now I'm an animal lover, but to this point I hadn't had cats before, so I'm used to dealing with dogs. I'm like, now I knew cats can scratch you and do all this kind of stuff. And I had done a lot of studying up until that point to get ready to have these cats, but that kind of took me aback. And so I was like, how am I going to take this wild cat home? I don't know what to do with him. And so this is the first time I seen the cat. He was buck wilding back then. Look here, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit subscribe and the notifications bell so you don't miss any future content. So then the other breeder showed up, and had Robin, right? And it was such a stark contrast because Robin was this little, and he looked like a kitten. And she let him out, and he immediately crawled up my arm, to my shoulder, and laid there and everything. And so that's what I was expecting. So here you got these two cats. One looks like a full-grown cat. He was 6 months. Robin is 3.5 months. But y'all probably know Robin was just small anyway. He's small for a cat. And then he was younger. So when I got the cats, they helped me get Batman in the carrier. I brought my carrier with me. But when they got home, because Robin was still very small and all of that, y'all know what to do when you first get cats. I had set up a little place for him in the bathroom, and we just kind of let Batman out. The main thing was to kind of keep them separated, even though they had the same. Okay, baby, all right. I'm still trying not to get bruh man on camera because he has that skin disease that we're working on. He just looks bad, but when you see him, that's what's wrong with him. He's getting over a skin disease that we've been working on for a little bit. So anyway, and then like later that night, I couldn't find Batman. So he's in this new place, and I'm looking behind the furniture, looking whatever. Couldn't find him. He done clawed under one of my couches. It sat up, it had legs that sat up off the floor and had a little cloth under it. He done clawed through it and is up in the furniture. This is the first night. So I'm like, oh man, how this gonna work? You know what I'm saying? And so he was hiding. And then, I think it was the next morning, I decided to, since they done had some time to kind of at least acclimate that they in a new place, I took Robin out of the bathroom, and I had him in like I had a little TV room office set up, and I took him in there with me. He this little thing, and he was on my lap. We was in there watching TV, and then come peeking in the room. Now I couldn't find, this cat was hiding up in the furniture, was scared to death or whatever. Who comes peeking in the room but Batman? And he tiptoed, and I heard him make his first noise. And he was sniffing at Robin. And I guess that was the thing for him, is he wasn't alone, that there was another cat. And so that's what brought Batman out. And he came up on the couch. He allowed me to touch him a little bit. He was very standoffish and cautious. But because I had another cat, that's what made him settle down. So the next morning, the next morning, they were scheduled to go see the vet, right? To get them checked out and get this whatever shots they didn't have or whatever. And so I got Robin in his carrier, but then it was time to get Batman. Oh my God. Now this is like the third day I had Batman. He was mostly hiding at that point and all of that. And so I tracked him. I had, he had to go to the vet. So wherever he was, I had to find him and then get him and get him in the carrier again, right? And so Now, mind you, he got in that carrier the first time because the breeder put him in the carrier. It wasn't me. I had never touched Batman to that point except, a little pet as he came closer. And so I went to get him. I found him behind a couch. And I mean, it was a fight. He scratched me right here. I may still have that scratch. And then it was like, it was on. So I wind up getting him and I had him like this. And he was like, he was showing me his teeth. He was trying to scratch my eyes out, man. I mean, seriously, he was trying to physically, do some damage. So I couldn't get him in the carrier. I put him down and I took Robin on to the vet. I told the vet, hey, this appointment, it was scheduled for 2 cats, but I couldn't get the cat. I wasn't gonna die in the process. So they told me, all right, well, when they reassured me at the time, that happens, from time to time in a new environment with a new cat, and he should settle down over the next couple of days. So, and over the next couple of days, we became more friendly and I was able to take him to the vet. Now, part of the reason I'm sharing this with y'all because, this is a dog in a cat's body video, is that this cat he was like this when I first met him, and he still has the tendencies of a wild cat. I mean, they've never really left. Okay, we've established our relationship, and with reconnecting with his brother and now bruh man, and being in the environment, he's a loving member of our family. But to this day, he exhibits, as Jason Galaxy teaches, those wild cat attributes, right? Batman has it in spades. And so in one sense, for the cat, that's great for him not to be totally domesticated and never lose that edge. But it's having that cat in your home presents certain challenges. So I'm putting that out there, for anybody else, because this is not the typical cat that you would have in your house. For anybody out there that has a cat similar or has stories or things that's going on with your cat that exhibits some of these same attributes, please share, let us know, because it's not an everyday situation. Most cats are a little more domesticated. Batman, he rides the edge, baby. So he's not the biggest cat. The Devon Rex breed compared to other cats is, on the smaller side. And he's much bigger than Robin, but Robin is like the either the run of the litter, or even smaller than the average Devon Rex. So he looks big in comparison to him. But other cats are bigger than a Devon Rex. But it's not about his size. Just like with anybody, it's about what's in his heart and in his spirit. He has no fear. I mean, none. And so he knows that I am cats aren't pack animals, but he knows I'm the leader. But he calls himself challenging me all the time, at least once a day. And because we've established our relationship, it's more at this point in a playful way, but he calls himself letting me know, hey, you can't catch me, or hey, I can hit you and get away, or you know, you watching TV, but I'm gonna jump out behind a couch and make you jump, or you know what I mean? It's just like little stuff. I'm walking up the steps and he comes out of nowhere and pounces, and so he literally has no fear of anything. And so I call him when and that he behaves like a dog. I mean, this is like what and again, I'm somebody who's raised a lot of dogs, red dogs, and that his behavior reminds me of a dog. Even to the point of now, when I first got Batman and Robin, it was before that uh, natural phenomenon that we all went through that had us in the house for over a year. And so I still at that point had a few people that would come over. But during that time, I had nobody coming over my house. But of course, that time came and went. And I've had the experience of observing him when people would come in the house. And Robin and Birdman, like most cats don't, they used to their environment. They gravitate to what they know, and somebody coming in the house is strange to them. And again, especially for my cats, because what they had experienced, it pretty much was me and them for a long period of time, like over a year, with no exposure to other humans. So when people would come in the house, whether it be a friend, whether it be the cable guy or whatever, not Batman, but Robin and Birdman, they would run, hide behind a couch or run upstairs and under the bed or whatever. Not Batman. Batman, when somebody come to the house, he meets them at the door and he like making noise. And he looking at him and he smelling them. He like, who are you? What do you want? This is a cat. And so he doesn't have no fear, guys. He's a guard cat. And I seriously now, he's a cat, so I don't really know this, but I've heard of it before that cats when they feel just like dogs, they can sense things. If somebody broke in here or there was a hostile situation, I'm not sure, but Batman might jump on them jokers, man. I mean, because he exhibits that behavior. He sniffs, he looks, he questions, he does that. So if the environment were hostile, I'm not sure what he would do exactly, but he's already kind of showing that he might just do something. So if y'all ever see me and I got Batman with me, that's right. See what I'm saying? He might check you, so be careful. Now remember to treat your animals well. They didn't ask to be there with you, but now all they have is you. Treat them like family. Fam.